any color you want. But
That's a Mythic piece, or you got that from somewhere
no,
else?
well, it just works. It fits with the Mythic stuff. But it was on, like, if you look up Mythic helmet on eBay, maybe it'll come up.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna look.
And
it
you
up.
just put it on a head that came from a Lord of the Ring figure.
Correct. Like some fodder figure that I had that I split and broke up and split in half. And I said, let me see if this head works. So the head doesn't work on the same like peg joint. So I had to Dremel the head out so it fit. But once I put it on, it fucking like the paint kind of matches from a distance.
It looked really good.
It looks good, right?
Yeah.
And I have an extra one of those heads too, Dom. Like I think I have one.
Is that it? Did you paint that head, or did it?
No,
I
didn't do nothing to it. It just worked itself out.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's nice when you could get a piece like that and not really have to do much to it, and it works out like to your liking.
I might buy an extra Purpler in the in stock sale this Friday.
No. When you're looking for pieces like that, like online, like a helmet, is it telling you like what scale, like that it would work for?
Sometimes it does. Like if you like right now, I put it in to see if I could find it.
That would have been funny if Dave ordered it and it was like a fucking actual helmet.
That actually would be cooler because if it would fit me, if it would fit this big ass head, I'd fucking put it right on. I would have had it on tonight.
Imagine. I think the price would be like an indicator, like you know.
You never know. You never know.
That's
but like Jose, like
aluminum
sometimes
was cheap this you know the price of aluminum is cheap recently.
Jose, sometimes you look for this stuff though, right? And it's just like luck of the draw. So a lot of like older like McFarlane stuff I've said before, it's kind of scales with this stuff. So thank you guys. Thank you very much. Looking at the birthday. Thank you guys. That's nice. You keep me smiling all day. Come on, man. You can't do this to me. But
Nightwing, don't be saying that. Don't be saying that. I run a tight ship here.
Oh,
no, I don't accept.
Right. You know what?
I don't accept. I'm a tyrant. I'm a fucking tyrant. You don't get off even on your birthday.
Well, as I was saying, the stuff you could you just come across stuff that scales the same way, and it's hit or miss. You buy it and you tear it apart, and either it's gonna work or it's not. So, and most of the time it does. You know, like it something's gonna work on a figure.
Yeah,
you know?
somehow you can find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
And you're developing those skills now. That you're just saying you Dremeled out like what, like a head sculpt or something to make it fit on a figure.
Yeah, I mean, this is stuff guys have been doing for years. I just was always afraid of doing. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Gonna do that. Like, I'm gonna fucking buy a tool and fucking Dremel a head through my toy. Like, but it's actually kind of like therapeutic when you do it. Like, you get there and you're drilling the head in, and you start getting pretty good at it too. So I did one, and I've done like maybe 3 more since, because like I've had stuff here that I've either like kind of like makeshifted to keep it on a head on a body, but it was never gonna fit. Or I used to do is I used to take like a pair of scissors and I used to scrape the hole out myself. Surprisingly enough, sometimes it came out okay, but it would take forever. This does it in a quarter of the time.
Yeah, for sure. Can't beat a power tool.
Yeah.
Definitely can't.
But it's fun, Jose. I'm telling you, man. One day when this is all over, I know you're not into mythics, but I'm gonna make you take one apart. I'm gonna make you fucking pull out some paint. I'm gonna make you fuck around with them. Like, here, take that. Fuck around with that. See how it makes you feel. You know?
Yeah.
Mythic mashup.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mythic mashup. Yep. Well, what's up to everybody out there watching, listening? Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Mold, episode 117. I'm Hurricane BX. You've already been listening into our conversation. Let's just go around the yard real quick and say hello. Brian Brank, how are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
We have JD in the house.
Yo, what's up?
What up? We got Big Dom. How are you?
What's going on, guys?
Why are you both hiding your faces tonight?
I know. I know.
I was mowing the lawn and I got poison ivy all over my face.
You're lying.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm lying.
Oh shit! You cut your hair.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
Look at you. You look like a fucking Viking, bro.
Look, he's got the shine like me right there.
Yeah,
right
maybe.
Oh, there
Yo,
you go.
yo, Ragnar Luffbrook just got here. Oh,
Yeah, like
this guy.
yeah. Dude, his beard.
and a woman. Chop your leg off.
And of course, last but certainly not least, the birthday boy himself, Energon Addict. Happy birthday, Pop. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm good, man. I've had a good exactly right. I've had a good day so far. I've had a good
Got that
weekend
two-ply
overall. Can't complain.
That's good. That's good. I was gonna ask you because these times that we're living in, it's not typical and stuff. What would you have usually done for your birthday? Are you the type of dude that would have went out and partied it up, or would you have stayed home and just done something in the house anyway?
I probably would have just went to dinner, like dinner, and probably had a drink or two at dinner and come home. Like, that's not, it's not big for me to celebrate like that. And even if it today, if it did fall on a Tuesday, I probably wouldn't have went out at all today. I would have probably did it over the weekend or waited till Friday or something. Let me tell you, this birthday's been the best one I've had. Exactly. That's what I look like. Yo, Brian, that's what I look like all day. I've been just all over my house, fucking dancing, so all right. I'll tell you how my day was. So I got up, right? My daughter, my wife, happy birthday, daddy, Well, that was cool. We just got Chloe a new bed, so this was fun. This is why my weekend started, actually. So Saturday, I decided Eric, EE Prime, right? I was talking to him via, Facebook Messenger, and he was showing some mixed drinks that he got. You know how, Jose, we in the city, we got those people that deliver the mixed drinks. Mm-hmm. I just never did it. So I never had anybody come out here to deliver me drinks. So I'm like, Eric, send me the number to this dude. That dude never hit me up, but I wound up doing a search on more of these type of,
you'll find them.
Entrepreneur, people out there. And I found this one who, bro, they deliver anything I want, really. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure if I would have asked for some crazy shit, but basically marijuana infused items, fucking drinks, edibles, all that type of shit. Even if you wanted real pot, they would deliver it, whatever. So I didn't need much of that, but I decided to get a few of the drinks, and they had weed butter, right? So it was a good price. I was like, all right, I'll take the weed butter, because if you get weed butter, you can just basically use a little bit of butter to cook whatever you want with it, right?
Oh shit.
So Saturday, we had ordered Chloe a full-size mattress, and we were going to convert her bed from basically it's still a crib to a full-size bed. So we put her in our room, let her fall asleep. Me and Lauren started drinking, right after dinner. We drinking these things, they're pretty strong. So we're like drunk and losing instructions and whatever. Basically, the instructions had no meaning at that point. We were just doing it by like whatever felt right. And we wound up putting the bed together, which was fun. But like right before we were done, I'm like, yo, you hungry? She's like, yeah. I was like, you want a grilled cheese? And and she's like, yeah, I'll take a grilled cheese, because I want to try this weed butter. I want to try this butter out. So then I go and I make the grilled cheese. She's like, this grilled cheese is really good, and whatever. She's like, that's no idea that this fucking shit's in there. I didn't even point. Dave's like, I'm all mischievous and drunk and high and all types of stupidities coming out of me. So I'm like, yeah, it's good, ain't it? Right? And then she was like, I'm either really drunk or I don't know. She's like, I just feel really weird. I think I'm gonna go take a shower. I was like, yeah, you go do that. I could tell you, I don't know, maybe 25 minutes go by, and she doesn't normally take too long in there. And I'm like, yo, you all right? And she's like, I haven't even went in the shower yet. And I was like, why? She's like, I just been fucking just looking around in the bathroom, because she doesn't realize she's starting to feel the effects of the weed. Just the drink. She's like, that drink really fucked me up. I'm like, whatever. I'm not gonna sit here all night and tell you the rest of the night, but it was just fun overall. And we both woke up the next day like you know, in the same kind of mood, like the funny mood, and it just carried on. It's been carrying on since. So
Nice.
So what you're saying, the rest of the story is the baby bed got christened.
No,
I mean, it's a full size. Is what you did.
No, I did measure up though, JD. Like, you know, I put her up on the bed. I'm like, oh, this is the perfect height. You know, it's like a little lower than our bed. And I'm not the tallest guy, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, this works for me, you know. My short ass is like, this is good. We got the low profile box spring too, so it's like the perfect fucking length, you know, height. But yeah, and then today's been great. My parents delivered me dinner, which was awesome. They went to some Cuban Asian spot and brought me basically like fried rice and fucking bistec and all this fucking.
Ooh, that's like a sabrosura. If you say
just
Asian, oh my god, that shit is so good.
Yeah,
that
so
type
good,
of food, bro.
So Lauren baked me a cake. This is like I think the third time she's baked me a cake now, and she's just getting better at it. I was like, yo, this one, babe, like the other cakes were good, but this one's really good. She's like, well, I looked it up, and she was like, I changed the recipe. I'm like, what you do? She's like, I'm like, I hope you didn't use that butter that was in there. I'm like, no. But she substituted the oil for butter, right? The water for milk. And lastly, instead of 2 eggs or 3 eggs, she used 5.
Yeah, fucking throw a lot more fat in there.
It was like fucking this fucking thick and fucking fluffy and moist. And I was like, damn, you're fucking getting good, you know? Like, overall, good day. I can't complain. I played video games all day, which I haven't done in
nice
years. I don't know. I'm playing Shadow of Mordor.
Oh, nice.
The war one, the second one.
Yep.
Because I never beat it. That game is so fucking hard. I've been playing it for 8 hours, and I'm only 8% done with the game. Because I keep if anybody fucking played that fucking game, you play it, right? And these orcs, they come at you, right? These orc captains. So they're not just every orc, because like sometimes you're fighting like 20 dudes at the same time. This one dude will come out, he's like, hey, I'm gonna fucking kill you because you know, like with a big storyline and shit. If he kills you, the next time he comes back stronger and it's harder to kill him. Sometimes these dudes ambush you and then you gotta fight like 3 of them at the same fucking time. So that's all I've been doing is fighting these dudes and trying to do the missions on the side. But like it gets you to that point where you don't have to fight these dudes. You realize it's not really part of the game. You don't have to go that route. But it gets you so mad because that motherfucker just killed you. And he killed you like 3 times and he laughs and snickers at you. And you're like, you know what? I got to get him back. So you go try to kill him, you know? But yeah, it's fun. Definitely fun.
Fuck
yeah, man. Yeah. I was grinding again on GTA Online over the weekend and stuff like that. I hadn't played that like in a minute. So I was like, oh, let me see what's going on. They added like a recent update that lets you go to like a casino and they got like a casino heist and there's like you could go and play games and shit, blackjack, fucking poker, fucking but the cool thing is they give you like a free spin like on a wheel there every day, so you could earn like cash or experience or other like useful shit in there. A car, real souped up exclusive car. The shit is though is like everything's so expensive in that fucking game. Like you gotta grind shit out like for your dough. There's easy ways to make money and there's little techniques and shit, but like if you want the best shit, like dude, they got everything. There's like a DeLorean in there. They got a Batmobile. They have the fucking the scramjet from like what is that, Speed Racer. A bunch of like pop culture, like the A-Team van is in there, the Dukes of Hazzard car is in there, the Knight Rider car is in there. Like they put like all this pop culture shit in there, but if you want it, it's expensive. So you gotta like you gotta do what you gotta do like to earn it, you know what I'm saying? But I guess the rewards in the end are worth it. So I was playing with my boy over the weekend and he had the DeLorean. So that shit, and he had it fucking all souped up. So that shit was flying. We were flying all over the fucking map. That shit had missiles in it. So we were just doing missions like super easy. Like it is fun, fucking real fun. It was nice. I hadn't really gotten into like game sessions like that with all the schooling and shit like that. So that's cool to hear that you were doing that. You took the day off from work, right? Just so you could relax and not have to be all business today.
Listen, you got Listen, you guys are gonna be witness to something else, right? So, you guys all know I've told you about my job and how like lax it is, and I'm not really busy. Sometimes I'm busy. Pretty much, I haven't worked like about a week and a half. I've only had to attend conference calls and answer a few emails, like, and I could do that all from my phone. So like, I'm like sometimes like in the middle of like, I don't know, playing with a Mythic Legion or feeding my daughter lunch, and I'm on a conference call, and that's it. So I was gonna take today off just because I didn't want to have to do any of it. But it was one call at 10 o'clock, another one at 10:30, and I was done.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I was like, I punched in and punched out. That was it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. Thank you, Dust. Thank you, guys. Thank you, by the way. I'm reading all the birthday messages.
Damn, you're living the life, man.
I'm scared though, Brian. Brian, no, I'm living the life, but I'm scared, bro. Because like honestly, like come on, the company it's not doing that well. You know what I mean? So fucking, I could be out of a job. Hopefully not, but
Yeah.
still getting paid right now. So fuck it.
Yeah, my job, like, you know, they provided some benefits for the staff. Like they're, you know, anybody that used the parking garage, they're giving them free parking. They've been given like breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free for the staff. Other little like perks and stuff like that, which are cool. So they extended that for like the month of June, but then after that, like, you know, like who knows? You know, so it's sort of just nice to kind of get like little things like that. You know, from the job, despite like everything that's going on. In a way, like that's sort of like the hazard pay that everybody's like sort of like asking for. Because think about it, like I got like a freezer basically like full of meat that I haven't really had to hit up too much because I'll be like, all right, whatever. I'll stop by the cafe and, you know, take whatever they're serving like for dinner and stuff like that. So it's definitely helped me out like in that regard. You know, but what you said, yeah.
I just want to warn you, that meat, sometimes you forget about it in the freezer for a couple years.
No, I eat it, man. I eat it, man.
Decades.
Listen. You know the stigma that hospital food is usually they say it's trash and stuff like that, but the stuff that they make for the most part in the cafeteria is not that bad. Just a lot of people don't like to go there because they weigh it and it's kind of like expensive. So it's not, to me, it's not worth it. Like if you were gonna pay for that, like I could maybe get 2, 3, or don't let Gary hear this, you know. But I could probably get 2, 3, or 4 times the amount of food outside for half the price. So of course, you're just always going to take the outside option if you're eating out. You know, but just the fact that they're giving that stuff up is nice. But it makes you think, Dave, because like you said, you're like concerned because we are, you know, ER has been kind of hopping, but you know, OR we haven't been doing like elective stuff, and the OR is one of like the major money makers for the hospital. So it's like, damn, we need to start doing shit soon because, like you said, I'm even concerned. Like, you know, wonder how long like this is sustainable. You know what I'm saying? Business is business. Like at the end of the day, you know, and. So like it is what it is. As far I'm glad though you had like such a good day, like despite everything that's going on. Like it sounds almost like it probably would have been like one of the better birthdays fucking out there, like spending time with
last year I had none of this shit going on. I remember fighting with the wife, having a shitty birthday. Like, you know, I remember you know, my anxiety was even worse than it is now. You know what I mean? With this going on. And today's been great. So I can't complain, you know, here with you guys. Like I got some great gifts from you guys in the past few weeks that's been coming in, so I'm talking around with all that stuff too, so it's been awesome. I really can't complain.
I was gonna ask, like, what did you get? Like anything interesting as far as like gifts? Anything good, like geek wise, that you want to share?
Shit, I mean, I just been getting stuff. I mean, got the art stuff that you guys sent me. So there was a paint set, was a mat to do the paint stuff on, an actual. I don't know what you call it, JD. What do you call the paint holder?
The paint holder?
Yeah, the paint holder. So you look all nice and fancy.
Yeah, I forget what that thing's called.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks, Brian. Brian sent me a package last week. Dom just sent me that. He sent me some stuff that he had for me. Gary sent me something.
Dude, he's gonna be set for the next 2 weeks. Playing with toys.
Like, I'm good. Like I don't need to go nowhere. My brother brought me donuts yesterday from Brooklyn.
What?
Spot in Brooklyn that I like.
The Brooklyn donuts.
Yeah, it's a place called Peter Pan, I think. Peter Pan's.
Oh, wow.
The donuts are so soft, Brian. They're like melting in your mouth.
Mm.
That sounds
Yeah,
great.
I'm over here getting fat and spoiled by everybody. So thank you. I don't want to talk about me no more. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for all the well wishes too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's good stuff. Fucking. For anybody else, like how would you have fucking like because of what's going on? Obviously, if you have a birthday coming up, at least for the foreseeable future, can't really celebrate like the way you would have done. Like how would you have celebrated this? Like, are you the type to go out like for the rest of you guys, or are we all like shut-ins and stuff like that? Because I think like what Dave said earlier, like usually, I think as we get older, like that party thing sort of goes away. At least like with me, like to me, I'm like even like I turned 40, so this is like a monumental year.
Yeah.
Like you could say.
Yeah.
But with everything going on, I mean, it's like whatever. But even when my birthday usually rolls around, I'm just like, hey, whatever, dinner, let's have a drink, keep it low key. I think I like to do a lot more shit when I was a little bit younger, trying to go to the bar or the club or something like that. Now I think I'm just a lot happier being here, just chilling out. Are you guys the same way, or do you like to go hang?
Same way. Low key. It's no more celebration. I'm trying to forget it.
I know, right?
People gotta drag me out for my birthday or trick me into going out. It's I mean, I've had my 30th was pretty cool. Someone threw a surprise party for me for my 40th. My brother and a couple of my friends, we kind of made a day of it. It was pretty good.
I think I remember when you turned 40.
Yeah, I knew you guys then.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
I think
That was a
that's
good year.
something
What
we
year was that?
could all reminisce. We were there when Brian turned 40, Jose, JD, Dom.
Yep.
Got another year. You got to stick around for me. Yeah. Right?
I'm out.
Yeah, but other than that, I always have this one guy, my friend Steve. He's always like, "Dude, what are you doing for your birthday?" I'm like, "Nothing." And he's like, "You want to go hang out?" I'm like, "No." Like ever since 37 or 38, I was just like, I'm over this. But
tell us about Steve though. Like, is he crazy? Like, he's just like always wants to like party,
man,
or
Steve's straight as an arrow, man. So
he's looking forward to your party to get drunk.
well, that's right, right. So he's married with 2 kids, and basically he looks for any excuse to not be there, right?
He needs to join the Realm of Collective.
Well, it's funny. He's been sending me pics of old Lego sets. Like he dug up old Lego sets that he had as a kid. I guess he's bored as hell, it's quarantine, and he's like ordering like the missing pieces online and stuff like that. I sent him to Brix's store. I was like, go there and get your stuff. And it's so he's always like, dude, there's a happy hour. You going to happy hour? I'm like, yeah, all right. He's like, come on, you're coming out. He's like, he has an excuse to not go home, right? And it's like, it's kind of funny.
I think we all need a Steve in our lives to get us out of the house once in a while.
Yeah. Well, those are my coworkers. Like usually we try to, we go to the local bar, that Howl at the Moon spot that's down the block. And like I'm glad we were able to do that, like maybe just a couple, 2 or 3 weeks maybe before all this shit like got shut down. But that's usually like a good time. Like that's usually like the motivating factor. Like when there is somebody like giving that push, like, yo, let's do this. Let's go get some drinks or whatever. Usually a lot of times we did that at work when it was somebody like leaving the job or whatever, or like a birthday, like a special occasion. And it's like, yo, like let's just fucking go hang out. Like we could just bullshit. We don't need like to fucking like wait for somebody to leave the job to come through and hang out. I mean, we used to do it like way more often than we do now. But I mean, I think a lot of it, like we can't wait like till things sort of get a little bit back to normal. We could like do that, do that again. My boys, it was like back in the day that was just like the thing. Like, Brian, did you say for your 40th you did something, or your 30th? Like you remember your 30th?
So yeah, funny. My 30th, basically, we were just gonna go to the bar that we always go to, blah blah blah. And a friend of mine, she was like, "Well, I live right around the corner from there, so why don't you stay over here, and that way you don't have to worry about driving home, stuff like that." And I was like, "All right, cool." And so I go to her place to drop off my overnight bag, and basically everyone's at her house. So it was kind of funny because I walk in, I'm like, dude, y'all are in the wrong spot. They're like, no, this is a surprise party for you. And it was like kind of funny. Somehow they got a hold of my phone like a week or like a month beforehand. I don't know, probably at the bar. I don't know. And they ended up getting my mom's number, and my mom sent them like baby pictures of me and like little, and like so the day of my birthday, I happened to be walking around the office and I'm seeing pictures of myself like taped to the wall and things like that. So that's pretty interesting stuff. It was good stuff. Good friends, man. Good times.
Yeah. That's dope. I think when I turned 30 I feel like that's the last time I kind of sort of did it, quote unquote, big. Like also like 30 again, milestone. And then and we went to like one of the local clubs here, had like the little VIP section, they bring you the cake with the fucking with the sparkler and shit like that.
You're important. You're so important.
Yeah, a lot of the fam came through and stuff like that. Like I feel like that was the last time 10 years ago, like it really did it big. Everything else has just been sort of like quiet since then. Like I remember doing like something like that for like Jesse also. But it was sort of like we went out to a club and again had our own little private section, whatever we wanted to drink and eat. But it was low key because it was just like us and like her kids and stuff like that. We were all adults. So it was fun to hang out like in that way. But I feel like it's been a while since doing like something like that. Sort of missed that.
Yeah. Well, my brother and sister are like 10 and 12 years younger than me, so I got to relive those times when they turned 30.
Oh, wow.
So that's good times.
Yeah, it's quite a gap there and stuff. That's like my dad. Like my dad was a little bit older, like when he had me. So me and one of my sisters are like about 20 years behind like his first set of kids. Yeah. And it's sort of like that way, like with a lot of the family, like I said, like a lot of the family like I grew up with around here, like that I call like Titi and Theo, which is like aunts and uncles. They're really like my first cousins, but I'm like a generation behind the rest of them. It's a little bit weird. Like I'm the baby, and I don't know if I told you guys, like my nephew has a couple of kids, but I don't have any kids. So and he's 10 years younger than me. So imagine if I start having kids like in the next few years. Yeah. It's gonna be some weird shit, Yeah,
but it's funny, like when I hang out with my younger brother now, they're like, all right, we're heading out to such and such street and we're gonna go here and here. I'm like, I'm going back home. They're like, dude, you used to hang with us, man. And I was like, dude, yeah, but look, man, these last few years put some mileage on, kind of thing.
Doesn't stop you from hanging out with us whenever we did our.
I was just gonna say that.
Well, I think maybe I save up all the strength when I hang out with the realm. Like
makes me feel good that he'd rather hang out with us and shit than other people in his family.
Well, you gotta pick and choose your times. I mean, it's like if I'm gonna get totally blitzed, I'm gonna do it with people I talk to all the time, not with a couple family members and a bunch of strangers.
Dude,
what I mean?
It's Brian at 1:30 telling everybody, "Let's go back to the bar." We're not finished drinking.
Yeah, NJCC. Oh, let's hang out at Houlihan's. Yeah. Oh no, we only have to be up at 5 a.m. the next day to set up a freaking table.
I'm like the one. I'm like going to bed. I'm like, you going to bed? And you're like, yeah, I'm going to bed. It's 11:30. You're like, we're going for drinks. And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Somebody comes stumbling back into the room.
Yeah. Dude, but it's I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting aspect because when we're all hanging out together, like the conversation, there's always a conversation. So it's like there's no way to step away. There's like, it's just
all you gotta do is say Transformers or fucking Star Wars or anything. We could talk. That's just it. We could talk about anything. Period.
But when even that stalls, then we just start talking about like our adult lives. And
if 401k, we've talked about a plenty of fucking times. Like stupid shit.
That's me and Brink. That's me and Brink. Like during TF cons, and we're roommates. We're supposed to go to bed, and we're I'm keeping them up another hour and a half, just talking back and forth about whatever. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah, usually, my mom and my brother and shit like that. We'll go out to dinner, stuff like that. My 40th, all the guys at the shop surprised me, and we all went to. It's called the Sports Emporium, the Carlisle Sports Emporium. So it's like arcades and go karts and laser
That's good
tag.
shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, that sounds great.
But-
Laser tag. Haven't done something like that like in a long time. Remember when that was like
we went there. I think it was last year. We went there again. Like it's kind of a normal thing that we like to do, like the shop. Christmas last year, not this just past Christmas, but the Christmas before that, we went to some indoor water park. I mean, this isn't a birthday, but it was for Christmas. Like he always tries to do something like super special for us every year. You know, we'll have like a dinner at the shop, and then we'll go somewhere. And like we went to some indoor water park, and it was inside like some casino. It's in Pennsylvania here. I don't remember where it's at. Maybe the Poconos or some shit. I don't know.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, usually for the birthdays, I try and be low key. I might invite some people over here, like some friends, and just hang out, cook some food. Yeah, keep it simple.
Yep.
If I do anything. But the family dinner is usually the big thing. It's like my mom, where you want to go to eat? I don't know.
I like when you look upon the past and stuff, like when we've looked at birthdays, like from when we were young, and how like maybe it was like an event sort of like Christmas, I guess, where it's like, oh, you're gonna be getting stuff that you maybe wanted or whatever. So that's sort of like that real reason to sort of look forward to it. And then you see like how throughout the years that sort of aspect of it becomes a little less important, and then all you're really wanting to do is just chill with your friends and your family.
It's funny you say that, Jose, because like my parents, they dropped off food, and that right there was like good. I was good. I was very happy for that. But they also gave me an envelope. Back in the day, I would have ripped that envelope up and like, what's inside? Who needs some money? They still, they always give me something as a gift. You know what I mean? So there was something in there, but I waited till after dinner was cleaned up. Like that's when I opened it. Like these days, it's the sentiment that means more than the actual gift sometimes. And even with the wife's like, what do you want me to buy you? Like, do you want a new toy? Do you want anything? And I'm like, I would like a Thundercat set from BBTS, but that's okay. But what I really want, I was like, can you put some fishnets on? You know what I mean? Like, that right there, like, there you go. Like, I'll be happy like that way. That's it. Just turn it up. Go from a level 7 to a level 11, and we're all right.
Yeah. Shit like that's important, man. Yeah. It's important to for long-term sustainability. You know what I'm saying?
Keep me up like 7-Eleven.
That's nice. Was the envelope pretty nice this year?
I mean, my parents always take care of me. So what was cool is that
David's like, it's a little light, Dad. A little light.
No, not at all. No, it's perfect. It's a perfect gift amount, But it's like I'm gonna use that money because like I wanted to buy a TV over the weekend because I've been wanting to buy a TV for up here. TVs are pretty cheap now. Like I can get a 60-inch for up here for like $400-$500. So right there,
weekend,
like
good weekend to do it too.
Exactly.
This weekend coming up.
So, I might just do that. They'll deliver it, so fuck it.
And the funny thing is like most Walmarts and Targets and are like sold out on the lower size TVs, and the only thing they have is like 55 and up. And so I'm sure they're fully stocked on those, and they're probably going to drop them real low to get rid of them. Yeah. But see what happens.
Well, It's funny.
Yeah, I was a summer baby. So like back in the day, like it was like I always found it easier for kids who had their birthday during the school year to kind of have a birthday party because you can give out invitations and invite your class and stuff and
Oh,
get that party going. But when you're a summer baby, that shit just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
it's how far who's in the block or the neighborhood. That's pretty much who you get.
At least I didn't have birthday parties like that. Like my birthday parties were like my mother's sister's kids, and that was it. Like my cousins. It was never like friends.
Same here. Like I've been to a lot like during the school year where like I get an invitation. We go. It's a friend. Not like one of my great friends, but like it's a friend from class or whatever. And then we go and bring a present, and they have like whether it's bowling or some fucking cool shit like that, or laser tag or whatever the case may be. What we were doing back in the day. Usually, sometimes it was be batting cages. Sometimes too. Like there used to be like a Grand Slam. Sporting facility by me, and you play like basketball, go to batting cages. They had some arcade cabinets and stuff like that, and you just spend a couple hours in there doing that. So but like when it came to summer, I was like, whether it was just with family or one of my my best friend across the street and a few down the street, and we just hang out and just enjoy. My mom would cook us something up, or we'd just go to fucking Best Buy, actually like Blockbuster, rent a couple video games, sleep over downstairs in the basement kind of thing. That's it.
That sounds great. That sounds
great. I mean, it's the best. Like, like if you're just able to hang, like that's usually like a good thing. Like when you guys were real young, did your parents ever try to do like your birthday party like at a Burger King or something like that? Like one of those like
I've been to them
places.
I've been to them and love the fucking cake because it's like full of sugar.
Chuck E. Cheese, maybe.
Chuck E. Cheese, yeah.
I had a show.
My dad used to take us to Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, my dad, like my mom would go to like her racket club, and then like so for the hour that she was there, my dad would take us to Chuck E. Cheese and just get us pizza and then fucking play arcades and shit. But
I used to like Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good.
I had no complaints.
It's been a long time. Like I remember, like I feel like Chuck E. Cheese was sort of like for the generation after, like that. Like I felt like that wasn't there, like when we were kids, like maybe like in the 80s, like or whatever. Like that was more maybe like a 90s thing, like for kids to do. I remember going to like a couple of parties like that. My mom did like Burger King. Like Burger King was like the convenient like spot that was just right down the block. So I remember like a couple of years doing that, and you had access to the little the little indoor playground that they had, and so stuff like that was fun because it was almost sort of like a little like mini like jungle gym. They had one of those things with all the balls in it, and you could like crawl through the tubes and the slide, and you know what I'm saying. So stuff was like that was fun. When you had all your friends and your family there, and you're fucking just wilding out.
Jose, you just mentioned that it was more like a 90s thing. In suburbs in Jersey and stuff, they had Chuck E. Cheese's way before we did in the city. That's the problem. So like
it actually died down
in the 80s. I think there was one in Brooklyn that was really popular at one point and big, and people used to go to, but then I think it closed down. But aside from that, like they started popping up again, like when you say in the 90s, because I remember I was in high school and I got a job working at a brand new one that they opened up in my neighborhood. I quit in a week. I think I've told you that story already, but it's funny. I never went to one either, like until later in life, until I was a teenager. So
yeah, I felt like that was like maybe something that came out later, unless it was maybe just a question of affordability, because I'm not the one doing all the economics as a kid, but I know my parents didn't have like a ton of money, so I felt like getting that occasional birthday, for a year or two at Burger King was like, oh wow, like this is like the shit, like something out of the norm than just doing, cutting a cake at home and having some people over, like so just a little bit different than that, so yeah.
And it eventually turned into like pool parties, people.
Yeah.
Eventually, like where
We grew up in different neighborhoods.
Yeah, I know. Like it's just like when, it's like
I wish I grew up in your neighborhood.
Yeah,
he just said pool party, and he means like pool you could swim in, and I was thinking like the pool, fucking the
Like
pool
a billiards?
houses, the billiards. Like we would just go there, hang out, have some drinks, shoot some pool.
Yeah, nah, it
Yo,
was
the
backyard
pool
pool
you know
party.
what the pool party was, Dom? If somebody
What?
opened up a fucking
a fire
hole.
Yeah.
Or you broke into the local park pool, the community pool.
We had a couple like slip and slide parties, birthday parties, when those were popular back in the day, and like people would just like have a big backyard party, whip out the slip and slide,
No.
barbecue.
Oh man,
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Gotta live out here in the suburbs in New Jersey here.
Good times. Well,
It
So
was fun.
yep.
So
right.
since we're talking about birthdays, well, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
See where you were going to go.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what was everybody's most memorable birthday, like with the present and like the most memorable?
We probably gotta have one, right? Yeah.
Remember gift, like birthday gift?
Yeah,
Shit.
like remembering your day and the gift and.
I had a good 25th birthday. And it wasn't so much the gift; it was where I was, because I remember being in Florida with my grandparents, which I hadn't seen in a few years. This is with my ex-wife at the time, and it was just a good time. Like they took me to Red Lobster, some shit like that. But they had never. I don't remember my grandparents ever taking me anywhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And what was cool about it is like my grandmother, she started to deteriorate like with the dementia after that. So that was like one of the last few good memories I have of her, where she was still, coherent and remembered everything, remembered who I was. So that was nice. And then what else? I think that tops it for me. That one sticks out more than other ones do.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, everybody.
Yeah, can't beat that.
That's sad though. You guys have showed this fun about it,
No,
Mine. Go ahead.
Oh,
You
Oh
go
no,
ahead.
mine. I've told it before, so I'll just be quick. Like that time, like I was being a brat, and I wanted that Power Master Optimus Prime back in '88. My parents were like dead set on getting me like a bike I didn't want. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I got that bike, but then like my dad, like a few days later, he had gotten like the Prime 2 and just left me a note like saying like, hey, like, like just, do well and be good. And, so when you grow up and become a dad, you don't have to tell like your kid no and stuff like that. Like that just sticks out. I can't ever forget that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like almost any other birthday could just be out there in the ether. Don't fucking remember what I did, what I got, whatever. But like that just is vivid. That sticks out like completely, so that's mine.
Yeah, I think I've told mine before too, but it was my 7th birthday. Is my probably most memorable as a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it was like I think the reason that I remember it is because there was like my mom went to go get my birthday present out of the basement, and
Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
Gift out of the basement.
Yeah, so she went to go get my gift out of the basement, and there was like a 7-foot black snake stuck to the side of the stairwell, like the concrete wall. And she had to call my uncle to come over and get it out of the house. He took it out back and chopped it up with a shovel. And that's
What
probably
was it? A 7-foot what?
black snake.
Oh,
JD, I remember this story.
Yeah.
I remember this.
And the gift that she got me was the fucking G1 Jetfire.
Ooh,
that's
nice.
Like I didn't even know that they
Nice.
made it. You know what I mean? Like I never saw it. And she's like, I saw this, and I know you like Transformers.
That's a nice one. That's
Yeah.
definitely a nice one.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I not to go back, but I had to. So that picture of that 25th birthday, I keep on my door. There's a little what do they call those when they
Cork.
give them out at Easter? Those crosses that they make out of straw. I forget what it's called right now. I can't think. I'm not that great of a Catholic.
The palm leaf. The palm leaf. Yeah.
So I keep that there, with a memoir of my not the same grandparents, but just my grandfather and stuff, and a birthday of that 25th birthday. So look at my big ass head.
Oh, hold on.
14 years ago.
Let me highlight that real quick so I can see it a little bit bigger. Oh, all right. Yeah, it's like you look the same, but it's just you can see the youth in the face, man. Like I see it like in old pictures too. I'm like,
I see 3 candles on the cake.
He just called you old,
Is that 3 years old?
How you feel about that?
no, man, but it's just like I see it too. Like sometimes you see yourself in the mirror every day. I think sometimes, and it's like. No, like I feel like I don't look that much different. Like of course, like I don't have my hair anymore and shit like that. But as far as like how I look, I'm like I think I look the same. And then I look at pictures from 10 years ago.
Definitely different.
15 years, and you see the youth, you see the baby face.
Yeah,
it's like wow.
I'm impressed that you guys remember. Like I remember Christmases, but like I can't as a child. But my birthdays, I barely remember as a child. Like. It's like I haven't had like I never as a child got a big birthday party. Like it was always like just very small, quiet little thing, and just maybe 1 or 2 gifts, nothing too crazy. And then my Christmases and like Easters were when like everything came out. So it's like I rarely remember any of my childhood birthdays. Like I can't even think of like what I got from my like. 7, 12. I don't know.
yeah.
Don't know.
I was just gonna say my birthday is January 3rd, so it was always smashed up against Christmas.
Yeah.
I just remember it's like my birthday gift would usually be a card. I can't remember if I ever got. I probably 1 or 2 years did get an actual gift that I wanted, but basically just get everything on Christmas. And January 3rd was like almost always the day you go back to school after Christmas break. So
get your ass back to class.
Yeah. Oh, Brian, you make me feel bad, bro.
Yeah, and was it like that for you? Like most of the time growing up, like because your birthday is so close to Christmas, you just got like the 2-for-1, basically the 2-for-1 special, or the 1-for-2 special, I guess, basically, because you're not getting double, you're just gonna get the one gift.
Yeah, no, I mean, basically, when it came to birthdays, it was mainly just, hey, let's go out to eat. If you want, go to like a favorite restaurant of yours or something like that. Or I mean, and obviously, as you get older, it's then 2 days after New Year's, so nobody wants to go out like get smashed or anything like that.
Recovering,
sobering up, yo.
Recovering.
So it's just one of those things. But I never like some people would be like, "Hey, let's do something for your birthday on New Year's." I'm like, "Nope, it's not the day."
Oh, you're being difficult, Brian. You got to be difficult. Change your birthday. Your birthday's now New Year's Day.
No way.
Now it's February 3rd.
Yeah.
Give us some space.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what Dom says is very true, though. Like besides that one incident, like I spoke about, like I don't really remember a lot of birthdays either. Like Christmas was that holiday where it was like, man, like you feel like, I feel like that was more the holiday that you could pick out like those milestone like Christmases of, maybe when you got that first Nintendo or that first PlayStation or things like that. It was always like that holiday where you got like that big major shit.
I will tell you something funny about my birthdays though. Until I was like maybe like 10 years old, and it wasn't every year, but it was like some years. Like I didn't like people singing "Happy Birthday" to me, so people used to. I kid you not.
You're one of those kids.
My cousin's in the chat. Bro. I have a cousin in the chat right now. Right, my cousin Frankie's in the chat. So I used to like the minute they used to be like "Happy," but I used to start crying. I used to jet. I used to run out of the room. And then, my parents used to have to come and get me, and like the only way to get me out is to bribe me. And he'd be like, "Yo, I'll give you money, or I'll buy you something else tomorrow." He'll come out, and then he used to listen to everybody sing me "Happy Birthday," or like half the time the cake would already half be cut and shit. So like, oh, Davey did it again. He's fucking crying again.
Oh.
I don't do that obviously anymore. It was like probably till I was like 10 years old, but I used to fucking ruin my birthday every year for everybody.
But Happy, you just didn't like the song. You didn't like the song.
I just was
Didn't
getting
want the
maybe I got
attention.
too embarrassed. It was like too overwhelming for me. Like everybody just all staring at me. Happy birthday! I'm like, get away from me.
Stage fright.
Yeah, I hear that.
Dude, there was actually one year I actually forgot my birthday. It was, I think I was like maybe 11, 12 years old. And in the summer, like days would just, the summer would just all combine. Like there was a couple of times where I would just sleep all day and come out during like 4 o'clock and hang out with my friends. And we stay up until like 3, 4 in the morning. And it was just, I didn't know what week it was. I didn't know what month it was. I knew it was the summer. And then one day I woke up and like came out and I was just hanging out in the front yard waiting for my friend to come home. And my next door neighbor's mom comes out and goes, "Oh, happy birthday, Nick." I'm like, "It's not my birthday." It's like, it's July 20th, isn't it? I'm like, "Is it?" Yeah, it is. And I'm like, "Motherfucker." My parents didn't even say anything to me when I walked downstairs or anything.
Whose mom was that?
But like my next door neighbor's, he's very close. Like she was my best friend's mom, and I was literally
my
waiting.
mom.
No, I was
birthday.
literally waiting for him to come home because he was out with his dad, and she came out and she's like, "Oh, happy birthday, Nick." I'm like, "It's not my birthday." She's like, "It's July 20th. Isn't it your birthday?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No, it's July 20th?" And she's like, and I like ran back inside. I'm like, "Mom, it's my birthday." She's like, "Yeah, I know."
Wow, that's great. I don't think
I forgot my birthday.
I don't think that's ever happened for me because you look forward to that day because like again, especially when you were younger, like something's coming. But I think people could relate to that now, right? With this quarantine shit, like I don't know what day it is. Like what is it?
What day it is? Yeah, it's all combined, and it's like fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's
long
crazy.
summer nights, like just didn't remember what day it was.
Did any of you guys have an experience? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up, JD.
Oh, that's okay.
Anybody like similar to that, like have an experience like that throughout the years, or maybe your family forgot your birthday?
There's this one time I
No,
called
so I
my
was
parents. Yeah.
I was
like,
gonna say like, oh, sorry.
Oh no,
JD,
go ahead, JD.
Oh, okay. So my birthday is like 5 days after Dom's, and when I was little, my teacher asked me when my birthday was, and I was like, "My birthday is on July 24th and July 25th." And she's like, "Huh?" Like looking at me, like, "What?" So this isn't like a forgetting, and it was just like the year before my birthday fell on like a Saturday or something, so that's when my parents threw my birthday party.
Mhm.
And like so from like the next couple years, I would always tell people it's on the 24th and 25th. And I was probably like 5,
Yeah.
5 or 6 years old. I didn't fucking know.
But like they're doing the party on Saturday because it's like more convenient, but it was actually
Exactly.
it's the actual birthday. Oh man, yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I don't think any instance like I definitely haven't forgotten, but I think maybe once or twice I could maybe remember where it was like sort of a little later in the day where you got that happy birthday like message or text or just your family like telling you like happy birthday.
Yep.
So you're wondering like, they forgot? Did they forget? And shit?
Yeah,
I
this one time.
was taking. Oh, sorry, go Brian.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this. I remember this one time I was at work, and I'm getting birthday texts and stuff like that. And of course, the Facebook wall and all that trash, right? But it's like, that's it. I was like, I got home. I still hadn't heard from my mom, and I'm like, I'm calling her. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Good." And she's like, "Happy birthday!" And I was like, "Well, I gotta call you, get my happy birthday."
I did that one time too, Brian, and then I called my mom, and my mom was like, "I gave birth to you at 7 p.m., so it's not 7 p.m. yet."
Right? Yeah. That's funny. That's funny because I remember. I think my dad did that one year. Like he called me, and it was like I think either 10:24, sometime in the morning, and it was like the time. He was like, "This is the time that like you were born." And so I always kind of like remember that too.
Waking
I was
your
like,
ass up.
oh, okay. So it's like about
Cut my ass up.
10:33 a.m. You know what I'm saying? I think was the time I was born. You know, let's look at ourselves internally and stuff. Because Brink, like the way you just said, you called your mom. So, are any of you guys the type where you sort of feel a certain way? Like if, let's say, if you didn't, somebody didn't reach out or whatever, like anybody,
I expect my
or
parents
like
to.
like let's say your friends or like anybody in particular. Like, would there be somebody that would like you would get mad if they didn't reach out like on that day, or is it just like like whatever?
I mean, I expect my parents to.
Parents, okay.
Yeah, definitely my parents.
I mean, I feel like they're the only ones really obligated.
Yeah.
But there's some people, I mean, in your life that you're pretty close with, and you're like, yeah, all right, I'm just like, I remember, in the past, it's like, all right, my day's not done until I hear from this person, kind of thing. So,
I don't think my dad ever called me for my birthday. It's like when I get my call from my mom, and my mom would be like, "Happy birthday," and I'm like, "Oh, your dad said happy birthday too." It's like, so it's like he doesn't give like a single call or like call out to me and go.
Yeah, my
"Happy
dad
birthday."
didn't call me today either, but he
Yeah,
went and picked up the food for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's like he's in the background. I know he's there, and like my mom speaks for both of them.
Exactly. Yep.
She'd be like, "Man up! I don't need to tell you happy birthday. Man up!"
Like when if we ever get together that weekend, like to have dinner, and my dad like sits down and goes, so he's like, "Oh, what are we having dinner for?" He's like, "Oh, it's Nicky's birthday," and it's like, "Oh, it's his birthday." Don't remind me. It's like, so did he pay for this?
Yeah, I'm not that type either. Go ahead, JD.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not that type either. Like, but I guess I would feel away if the immediate, like, close family, like, didn't reach out or anything. But they always do. So, and we got social media nowadays just to remind everybody, right? Like, it's so easy. Like now, like imagine if we didn't have this. Like, will we be as on top of it as we are now?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm weird like that. So I remember a lot of people's birthdays. Like I'm just weird.
That's a definite no for me.
Cool. I have a cousin named David, right? So this is the same cousin who, when I needed, when I have kidney disease. Listeners know that. You guys know that. I originally thought I had, needed a transplant faster than I did. Got tested. He's my match, right? So he's essentially my living donor, right? As of like 3 years ago. Who knows if it's changed? Anyways, long story short, same name as me. He has a perfect match kidney with me, and he gave birth to his first daughter today on my birthday.
Oh wow!
Wow! That's cool. Yeah, it was pretty fucking dope. So I'm very excited for that. I forgot to mention that. That kind of
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. That's dope.
That's things like that. Like, I mean, of course, we have coincidence, but when things like that happen, it's like shit makes you think. Like, damn,
what the fuck, right? Yeah, it's like somebody's telling you something.
Yeah, makes you wonder if there's more.
Yeah.
So, Esteban said he used to write people's birthday on any calendar that he bought. It's like I used to be really good. Like before Facebook, I would put all that crap in my phone. I did have a planner as well, like to keep people's birthdays. One thing and then the phones change, like go from Nokia to iPhone to something to something. And then it's like I'm not typing that shit anymore. I got the Facebook, right?
It's lost.
And it's like one of the things I miss is Facebook used to, like, I don't know when they stopped doing this, but they used to give you a couple days lead time. Because like it would be like events coming up and you would see what's coming. And I wish we had that now, because I can't tell you how many times I've been online with somebody for one of these podcasts or a hangout, and it's like the person's birthday the next day, right? And it's like
Yeah, you could say
Like
so.
Jim-
You could say something.
Yeah, like
but-
Jim
yeah.
H, for instance. I think that happened once. It's like he was in a hangout like a Monday night or Tuesday night, and his birthday just happened to be on Wednesday, and I was like, "Fuck, damn! If I had known, I would have wished you a happy birthday right there."
yeah. That upcoming stuff is still there, but I think you're right. Like, I don't think they notify you anymore. Like, you have to actively like go into your
Yeah.
events, and you'll see the upcoming and stuff. But yeah, I mean that was nice when they give you sort of
Or
fair
they used
warning. I guess maybe you're at the point you have too many, so they can't distinguish shit
Well,
like
they
that.
used to, if I remember correctly, I think they used to send an email and be like, "Birthdays this week" or something like events this week coming up.
Uh-huh.
That's what they used to
Mhm.
do. Yeah.
I love how
JD,
how
were you
my
gonna say
beard-
something?
Oh, and I was just gonna say, like, after my parents got divorced, I got butthurt because my dad forgot my birthday like 3 years in a row. I'm like, fuck that guy.
Oh damn!
But
3
it was
years
always
straight,
like-
just didn't say
Yeah.
nothing, like at all. Like when the day came.
I mean, after I threw a fit about it, yeah. But like,
Mm.
you know, I'd call my mom and be like, yeah, or she'd be like, "Did you hear from your dad?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "What do you mean no?" Like, yeah, I haven't heard from him. She's like,
And then like 10 minutes
your
later,
birthday was like a week ago.
10 minutes later, your dad goes, "Hey, Didi, happy birthday!"
Birthday, good.
Oh
So
yeah,
I
that's
just
because mom just called you.
It kind of just became like a regular thing for him to forget. I mean, he suffered a whole lot of trauma to his head, so there isn't a whole lot. I'm lucky he can remember his name. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah,
so that's different.
So there's a reason there, you know, and sometimes that's what it is. Like I think like when it comes to the parenting, like sometimes you could see it. Like there's always sort of one that's a little bit more on point, that knows that's on point when it comes to like things like that, like the birthdays and the occasions and doing things like, you know, you can be distracted, I think, like sometimes. You know, depending on like what you're doing. I mean, I would feel like, man, your kid.
But your
I don't
kid,
think you could.
yeah.
You can't ever forget that. Like in my opinion, but again, I don't have
It's
any
like,
kids, so
you know,
who could I
you-
say? Look at it.
You remembered his birthday, you know, the prior 23 years. You know what I mean? So it's like, you only got,
Maybe it was always the mom, like, hey, JD's birthday is coming.
yeah, I mean, probably, yeah.
It is, you know.
But
When you have that reminder, it's like a crutch. You know what I'm saying? It's like Facebook. Like, would you remember without Facebook? Fuck no. Like, so thank God for Facebook. Facebook is everybody's mom, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to reminding about birthdays, you know.
like anybody that I care about, I actually put them in my actual calendar on my phone.
Oh,
Yeah,
so are we? Am I in there?
Yeah,
oh,
you're-
here we go. Here's the question.
Bro, show that shit right now. Show
What's
that it's the all
special to you?
Is Dom in there?
no,
Good.
he will be though. I know it's
Obviously,
I know it's there.
Chris says I'm going to have a hard time getting a one-way ticket on an airplane. So
Oh
Also,
man.
too, my phone, my phone birthdays, they used to like pop up reminder. I don't know. That's getting really weird now too. Do you guys feel bad when you like miss someone's birthday and you have to write the belated birthday
No.
text? Nothing.
No.
I was like,
Hey, if
Not on
it's within,
Facebook.
just forget
they-
it. Just forget it.
They know
Move
I
on.
wouldn't
Catch you
find
next
on
year.
every, you know, like something else.
I used to feel bad. I'd be like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. Happy birthday." Now I just write "Happy belated birthday." I'm like, I'm too busy to remember your birthday. That's basically
Yeah.
what I'm
Don't
saying.
even say belated.
I
Just
don't-
say
I don't
happy
even-
birthday.
yeah,
I didn't
I don't
mean
even-
shit.
yeah, I don't even use
Yeah.
the belated anymore. I just say happy birthday when it's within that day
Yeah.
or two. If it's 3 days
not
or
gonna-
more, I just probably leave it. I'll leave it alone. I'm like 3 days is kind of long, but I think if you catch it within 2 days, I think you're okay.
3 months.
3 months
Happy
later, hey,
belated
happy
birthday.
birthday.
hey.
You know what's
By
funny?
the
Is
way,
I think I still have birthday cards I never opened that came in.
Dude, you might have money in there, man. Open
Nah.
those up.
Maybe. I don't know.
well, if they're a check, they're no good anymore.
Oh yeah. I remember going like when I was cleaning out at my mom's house because she was doing the permanent move to VA, so I had to get some of my stuff out. And just going through stuff, I found like old birthday cards and shit. I was opening up every single one just to make sure there was nothing. Yeah, and I did.
Ooh, $20 bill.
I did find a check. It was like for $400, but of course, you know,
there you go.
Can't cash it. Can't cash.
Yeah,
it.
it's expired.
Yep. Be like, I got to see if there's a way to get this thing reissued. Yeah, but that's funny. No cash though, because that always just like, you know, once you open that card, you saw cash that went straight into the pocket.
It's funny these days. I don't want cash anymore. I'm like, what am I gonna do with this stuff? And 3 years ago, that wasn't my mindset. I remember I used to always have a pocket full of cash, and I was Chris that was like, I don't use cash anymore. What do I need cash for? You know. And these days it's like that, especially these times, like right now. What the fuck do I need cash for?
Yeah, it's more pain in the house because now you got to go to the bank and deposit it if you really want to do anything with it, right? Like it's a trip to the ATM.
I mean, my mom would give me like $100, right? And I always asked her, I was like, give it to me in $100 bill if you're gonna give me cash. And she's like, why? Because it's like, because I'll keep it with me, and then it'll just be one of those like, special circumstances. I'll be out or something. I'll be like, this is gonna be my birthday present from her, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it's like if I just happen to be out and see something I want to buy, or if I happen to be out like having a really good time, like I'm gonna use this money to pay for this good time.
Mm-hmm. So what was her name that good time?
her name was Good Time.
Wow. Now I'm reminiscing. Now I'm reminiscing about Chicago. And I think Brian's the only one on the panel that could know what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. So before the show is over.
Yeah, well, that night you want to break that 20. Or only have $100 bill. You better break that $100 bill.
Let's not let the whole night go by before discussing like a geek related topic. I was actually, Dom and I were sort of talking a little bit about this before everybody hopped in and we went live. But Hanny from Agabus.com, he posted a picture of that weathered constructor or whatever. Looks, in my opinion, looks like super cool, like or whatever. Like, and that's a figure that's just been released like multiple times at this point. Many different variations, colors, and whatnot. But I wanted to get your guys' like opinion on pieces like that, like things that are either sort of toon shaded, customized, or weathered, like the way that Devi is. Because, like I said, like I think that thing looks really dope. But since the majority of figures are not done with that sort of style, do you feel like that's a detriment when you collect a piece like that, or do you think that's just a nice standalone that you could just have and enjoy and like an outlier in your collection? Like, what are your guys' opinions on that sort of stuff in general? Weathered, tuned, decoed action figures.
So when I first saw that they were doing like weathered versions of these, I'm like, I mean, that looks fucking amazing. I mean, the rust and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I was like, it would be cool. I would just buy another one at the normal retail price and like weather it myself. Of course, that does a little bit better, but than what I can do. But I'm okay. You like that, Thorn? You like that sort of thing? Go for it. I'm okay with the one that I have.
Jose, it's funny that you mentioned that. I was actually going. I think I deleted them, but in one of the ETR Transformer segments, we had no news, and something eventually showed up like at the end of the week that I could use to populate something. But someone, I think it was on the Chalkers site, right? Someone had done a weathered up Sideswipe, and I wanted to bring that up as a talking point on the show, and it really kind of spoke to me. I was like, it was like kind of battle damaged, like kind of thing, and I was like, I think I could do this. Like, I think I could go for a battle damage deco set of Transformers on my shelf instead of these pristine ones. I think I would just need to be able to make sure I could get them all right.
See,
That
so
would be
so
the only thing.
that's the thing though, like, right? Because again, like, since not all figures are released en masse and that type of style, like I feel like, do you think that might turn people off? Because it's like, man, I can't have a whole collection like this, so why go into something like that,
Yeah, I think with Devastator, it's just that they're construction vehicles. So with a standalone figure like this, where like JD, it definitely would make sense that these construction vehicles would be like worn down, used, and battered up, and you would see that rust, you would see that, like, dirt full bucket load of shit, and that would make sense for that character. So it definitely could be a standalone piece. I wouldn't want all my figures to look like that in regards to a weather type feel, but the Devastator is just completely makes sense to me. I saw this, but for example, it does give it a more mature type look to it. And I really like, I remember when all these new Transformer movies, the Michael Bay movies were coming out. I remember a customizer that would paint up like these, the movie toys and give them that weather look. And I always wanted to commission a piece, and was always trying to figure out like how much it would cost for me to pay someone to do something like that. And it's like, I never got the chance to buy something like that off of retail. And now this piece is, it's six figures, but like, at the end of the day, it's $800, almost $875. So but like the original cost of, if you bought the first one, was like around $600. So it's like, you're only paying $200 more to get it all weathered up. But obviously after reissue, those new ones are like, you can get a whole full set for what $450 now for a constructor. So I just feel, it's definitely, if you like it and it tickles your fancy, definitely buy it. And to me, it just looks really great. And I'm actually on the fence on whether I'm going to buy it or not. So, but there was also a pixel, like you saw it, Brian, the one like the pixelated version of Constructor. Like it looks like a cartoon version.
Oh,
yeah,
not
the
pixel.
the Toon painted version.
Cell shaded.
Cell shaded. Sorry. Yeah. So it looked, that one looks really great too. And I always saw, like, I remember when I go to conventions like TF Source or BotCon, I would always see people who had, like, not even that one in particular, but like the Hasbro version one in a shell shaded type paint job, and I always thought that was pretty cool too.
Constructor's a pretty impressive standalone piece anyway by itself too. So like, if you just had basically, I mean, a nice posable statue for, what was it, $800 something bucks.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
I mean that's what those really nice statues go for today. And I mean, he fits the bill, man. Yeah.
Like isn't there like an Imaginary Arts did a Devastator? It's a recent Devastator that they have out for pre-order that kind of has that weathered look, and he's at like an attacking stance, like he's walking through some rubble, and
it sounds
that costs $1,200, or I think it's like almost a $2,000 statue. So
that sounds familiar.
I think
it looks
we
like
had it on
Johnny,
ETR.
right? Like that. It looks like the Generation Toy Devastator.
I think that goes for like $2,000. So it's like you're getting a, like Brian said, you're getting a transformable action figure that has that type of feel, and it's $875. So
I mean, I think I know it's expensive, but I sort of do think it's justified. I mean, after looking at the prices of you know, like you said, originally those figures were 100 each, so 600 off the bat. I mean, look how much, you know, it is. Like if you wanted to get things customized and, you know, your action figures or whatever, it's very expensive, you know, like with what JD does with Shelf Gravy and, you know, what Chris does with Crashbox, you know, an artist and, you know, when they're doing work, you know, Dave's discovering it, you know, it takes time, your effort. You know, like that's worth something, especially when you do, you know, like a great job like that thing. I think we were debating, Dom, like like, is it hand painted? You know, how many units, you know, can you possibly make if it's hand painted? And if it's a factory and you know, just pumping those out with the weathering looking like that, I mean, that's fucking incredible. You know, but I feel like the paint job is worth it because I mean, just look at what you're getting, especially if it's hand painted. I think you would probably pay way more if you were gonna try to have somebody like who's that guy that does all the shell shaded
I remember,
I forget his name.
I remember like there was a guy that I knew was like Rumble Frenzy, and he used to do like weathered look on everything, and like he would just take those MP third party stuff and just really weather it down and make it look really nice, literally like something out of like some artwork right out of a photo or something, you know, real life photo of a transformer coming out, you know, out in the middle of a, you know, dumpster or something like that.
LEK, that's what it was. I know it was L-K, but
LEK wasn't Pumpkin Gonzo is like kind of reminds me of a name that dudes should do custom.
But like JD, like so for $600 you would have to pay for the figure. Say we're back when this constructor came out and we're paying $600 for the whole set, and then all of a sudden, you know, I'm gonna get a customizer to paint this whole thing up. It's gonna cost you more. They're gonna charge you more than $275 to paint those figures, all 6 figures. They're definitely gonna cost
figure probably another $100 a figure.
Another 100. That's what I was thinking. So it's like you're really if you ever wanted a piece that was customized to whether it's weathering or a shell shaded type of paint job, you're getting your money's worth in regards to the price that they're putting these two out for.
And how much is that one that you showed that at the beginning?
It's $875.
Ooh, also it's double. It's double.
Yeah, pretty much at the cost of what constructor is now. Yes.
Yeah.
It's double.
So yeah. And how many is it limited to? Only 500?
They haven't put a number in it, but I know for a fact that the shell shaded one has been selling out. So like it's only a few at several of our popular sites, and they've been selling out. Like, you know, and I think TF Source has it for the highest, which is $1,000. So it's like, you know, other vendors have it between $850 to $875. So. But TF Source has it for like $1,000 for the cell shading version of the constructor. So
yeah.
And like you said, it is essentially double because that, you know, that gift set's like in the 400s, right? 450, 465, like that sort of area. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So like, not too bad.
I feel like, you know, if it's a character that you love and you like that type of style and it's something like an art piece and you can't afford that 2000 statue that looks something similar to that, you know, to that style, you know, it's definitely something that you can pick up and you can put it in any fucking pose you want, you know, and get one of these guys to do a nice little diorama or a base, at least a stand base set that you could put it on top of it and just enjoy a nice piece.
Great, personally, like.
You like the way it looks?
I think it looks great, but the problem I would have with it is if I bought that thing, I'd want the rest of them to look the same way. You know, because like that thing would probably take some beautiful pictures. Like, you know, not that I take pictures anymore, but somebody who does, you put that and then you put it with some of the recent tune releases, and it just doesn't look right. It's like, why does he look like he's been battle damaged and you look brand new right off the shelf? Like, you know. So
LEK, that was the guy I was talking about earlier. Like so that dude actually customizes and he takes the figure apart and he paints it and like, you know, on his page, you know, he would show like updates and I'm like, that shit looks incredible. Like when he would do that cell shaded.
Wasn't that cell shaded Devastator supposedly made?
I think he did one. I think he did. Yeah, he did one, and they did release a version by the. See, so like if he did that, like so how many of those can you make? Like how that's a lot of work taking those figures apart, painting those pieces. It's not like he's just painting them while they're fully assembled. Like he's taking them apart and doing them piece by piece.
Like
or maybe
a customizer would do.
Maybe they could mimic what he did from the deco or something like that.
Yeah,
and do it at a factory level or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I know you could do incredible things like with machines. So like, I don't doubt that they probably found some way to replicate that. Like, if they put out a version like that, because I mean, I can't see them like doing a production run of even like 100 and him all hand painting that. Like that shit would take forever. No,
Right.
Six figures each.
Well, wasn't that cell shaded constructor limited to something like 300 or 400?
Yeah,
I think so, but they don't announce what, like when you look at the pre-orders that went up on BBTS or TF Source, they don't. I didn't see it. I might be wrong, but I never saw anything in regards to the count of how many were made.
I just remember hearing it like in the news, like in the ether.
Yeah,
I remember them saying
probably.
that.
I can imagine it's limited, Brian. Like I said, they're not going to spend like it's probably costs them a good amount of money to make them look that way, and they're not going to be producing 5,000 of them for it.
Yeah.
In the chat, he said LEK would be 2 to 3K to do that Devi, and it's booked until late 2021 at the moment.
Look at that. Yeah. When you do that type of work, I could imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just gonna have people just hitting you up for commissions. I mean, and good. When you're that talented, you could line them up like that. I mean, that's a great thing.
Well,
I mean, the work speaks for itself. It's incredible.
JD could tell you that's how like some tattoo artists get. Sometimes you wait a year, 2 years for some of these guys to get an appointment with them, depending on who the artist is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have a friend of mine. She gets tattoos, and she's like, well, she doesn't know what she's getting, but she's on his schedule.
Not me. That's me right now.
I know. Different JD. You still
I'm the homeless.
But there's definitely there's definitely a market for it, because I know Gigapower is doing the same thing with their Dinobots, and those weathered Dino. They issued 2 of them, and they sold out. They haven't. I think their price was just a little bit more than what they usually retail it for. But the quality, I've seen reviews on them, and the quality of them are amazing. Like the paint job.
Just buy the regular ones. I'll weather them for you for real cheap.
Dave will go out in the backyard, play with them in the mud.
He needs cannon fodder. He needs to
come here.
Send it back to me.
Take these into the sandbox for an hour.
Give it 2 years, and you get authentic rust.
Yeah, leave it outside for the year and let it rain on, and send it back to me. $300, Tom. That's $300.
Deal for you, buddy.
See, I think the advantage of what that Devi has, though, is like just the fact, because it's so huge. Like I think we've all handled Constructor at some point. It's huge. It's solid. Like the individual bots are solid. I think overall, since they're all coming out with the upgrade pieces, the overall set is a lot more solid than what that initial set came out to be. So I almost feel like, for that paint job that you're getting, how big the figure is, like to me, it doesn't seem like a bad price point to me as far as like the way that thing looks, because it really looks like it's just like somebody just did that by hand, and it's pretty incredible looking. And then like you said, Dom is right. They're construction vehicles. So even if nothing else in your collection looks like that, it makes sense that a piece like that would.
So maybe that's what they did. Like, how long's this mold been out? They made a bunch of them, and then just left them outside. I mean, it's smart. Nobody had to do anything.
One of them brought them in. They're like, "Look at this!
Look,
oh shit, that works!
We're gonna
Hey, you remember those 200 constructors that we had in the back? They were getting rained
on them, and now there's pee dripping off of them, and it's rusting up, and people are gonna pay money for it.
Have any of you guys have gone in on any of those Constructor like re-releases since they've been doing? I mean, they put out so many at this point. Like, but no.
Like I saw when they did the yellow version, weathered yellow version. I thought that was pretty cool. I was
I
like,
almost
dude,
went
if they
out.
ever,
I almost went
yeah,
for that one.
yeah. I'm like,
Me
if they
too.
do a green one like that, I'll fucking,
Yep.
I'm all in. And then here's today, like it's there.
Here we are.
I'm on
$100.
the fence. Yeah, like
That-
if it was
that one was
$600, easy.
Right?
I would buy it for $6, no problem.
But that yellow
Eight-
one wasn't this as detailed as this one is.
Not as much, yeah. Like I saw a review of that one, and I compared it with pictures that this one has, and this one has a little bit more detail and kind of more love put into it. But it even with the reviewers who received the yellow weathered one, they talk very highly of it, and the detail that was in that one. So
Yeah, and Dom, I just looked it up. I think that cell shaded one was limited to 200.
yeah, I pre-ordered that one. We talked about, and I was like, I'm not letting that one pass by. And I was always wanted a nice shell-shaded Devastator, because when I saw a couple of them at TFCon or some people who had them painted that way, and I was like, oh, dude, I would love to have something like that. And when I saw this one coming out, or it was announced, like, and it was going to come out, I was like, dude, whenever it gets put up for pre-order, I'm going to buy it.
Mhm.
Because it's something that I always wanted. So this weathered one though, it's like I'm on the fence with, because it's just it's great. It's just I don't know. I just don't know.
So if you hang out with me and Brian for another hour and a half, I can guarantee we'll get you to get it.
Yeah. Let's see about 12 o'clock.
That should be ordered when we're all hanging up, right?
It's
A couple
three of
more
us.
beers
It's 12 midnight, and we're like, fuck it. I just fucking pre-ordered it.
yeah.
But before we wrap up, do you guys think? I mean, they fucking milked that thing for so many molds, so many styles. At this point, like, what else could they do? What's the next
I
constructor?
don't know.
release?
Just give it
I'm
up.
Glow in
brand
the
new.
dark.
Glow in the dark. I think
Didn't
that's the only.
they made
thing
a
we
clear
haven't done.
version, right? They made a
Yes.
clear
Yeah,
version.
multiple
Yes.
clear ones. Yeah.
Yep. It's amazing how much they're getting out of that. Oh, and real quick, because I think I guess the pic that Brian showed last night. So, Zeta, like those Zeta combiners are basically in that same vein, same style, right? Same size, same scale, everything. Like, and then that new, I guess, Rampage that came out from Kang Toys, you see it they're, I guess, cross compatible.
Yeah.
So, like with that, like, are you guys in like on that set, like on that Predaking set? Because now I guess he's gonna be the same size as the
that
Bruticus, the
size.
Constructor.
Right.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
are you guys in?
It's pretty. You know what, man? If I was buying combiners at that scale, no, don't call me a hypocrite because I am getting the Fans Toys ones, but like I don't need to go all in on combiners at that scale. I just need the 3. But I tell you what, man, it's stylized, but yeah, I think I'd be in. I'd be in. That thing's gonna be huge. Like,
So wait, which one is this?
this is the Kang Toys Predaking, basically
Yeah.
Toy World Predaking.
It's the Rampage came out that looks a little Zoidish, but I love the fucking way that thing looks, man. Like, it looks fucking awesome. So I could just only imagine how the rest of them are gonna look. And listen, like, nobody. I don't feel like anything has knocked Feral Rex like off its perch. Like, I know it's still sort of chug scaled, but I love the way that thing fucking looks. The look of that thing is incredible. And now I'm like, man, you might have a contender now to finally knock that off its perch,
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I just love the aesthetics of it. So I think I'm going to go in on that first figure, check it out. I've been seeing good things about it so far online. So I'm not really collecting combiners in that masterpiece scale either, but that might be something I go in on.
I mean, come on, a Feral Rex the size of Constructor.
Yeah, man.
And what is your 3, Brian? Is it Devastator, Superion,
Devastator, Superion, and Menasor.
Menasor?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need Bruticus, and Defensor. I always thought he's actually a kind of handsome looking combiner. He's got all the right proportions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going all in on that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But jets and cars, man, dude,
Yeah.
got me.
Can't go wrong.
Got me.
We
in
always
jets and
say it.
cars.
We
But
always say
just
it, right?
off the other topic though, like with the weathering, I don't think if who's the one that did Superion? Is it Zeta's Superion? If they weathered that, I wouldn't go for a weathered Superion. Like, I wouldn't really like, a mucky, dirtied up Superion. Like, that's why I think it just works very well with
That's why
Devastator.
Autobots die fast and die quick because they can't get fucking dirty.
Can't get hurt. See, like Bruticus, I could see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Bruticus I can
Like-
see, but like
some potholes burn into it, and like
Or
carbon
even
scoring.
even Defensor I can see a little bit, and kind of scorned up a little bit.
Nah,
but
man.
I don't know.
Defensor, dude. Emergency vehicles are kept immaculate.
They're kept very
It's true.
clean.
It is true. Yes, fire trucks are
Yeah.
are kept very clean.
That's because they got all those peons that come on. You only have a few months in. Like, dude, go wash the truck.
Yeah. Again, the construction vehicles like are perfect for that like weathering effect. And you're right, like it is kind of hard to see some of those other figures, at least not weathered up like with that sort of detail. Like I always loved the Transformers Prime cartoon because when you look at those character models, you see the scratches on them and stuff like that. Like they're not completely clean. So I think if they were able to do figures where it's a little bit more low key than the way that constructor looks, probably be like a little bit more acceptable when it comes to like some of the other characters. But I mean, you can't beat that on the construction vehicles. It makes fucking total sense. So I think that's why I think that piece like looks so good. So it's tempting, but I'm like, man, I can't. 900. I can't do that.
What about? I mean, there's weathering and there's battle damage. Like,
Correct.
Yeah,
It's
so
totally
maybe-
different. Yeah, I
yeah.
understand. Battle
Yes.
damage, you'll have like some scratches, like scoring shots from like laser blasts and stuff like that.
Yeah. The only piece I remember having that was like that was that I think the third party name was Gauntlet, but it was like that character from the last end of the records. I forget the name, Guzzle or
by Mech Ideas.
yeah. The version I was able to get was a weathered version, and it wasn't just weathered. They actually did a little like battle damage where you saw like little like bullet holes and certain parts of it. So like I thought that was like a really cool looking effect. But I wound up selling it like because even though it was cool to have it as like okay, he's one of the wreckers and part of that story, just the look of it didn't fit any of the other figures. So I'm like, why have this? I would have definitely went more for the original just because it would have, fit in with everything better. But that was sort of like my first experience with that sort of like weathered like figure. And I'm like, man, like, and I think in the right circumstance, I could do with more of that. I think it's an interesting look, interesting technique. It's just not done on such a wide scale where maybe people would feel comfortable, going all in on figures that look like that. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Did any of you get that Bad Cube Warpath that was weathered up?
I did.
Like,
I did.
Oh,
It
that was
weathered up.
yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that was a
nice.
nice looking one too. Yeah, I forgot about that one completely.
I actually kept that one and sold the other one. So sold the more cleaner version.
Yeah, and another perfect example of a character where it totally fits. Tank. You expect that thing to be dirty and weathered and stuff like that.
Sold that to J. Ruse back in the day
Wow.
when that came out.
Who?
Who?
Like,
All right,
it's like I don't like this constructor. I'm looking at it. It's like I really just want to see it in person.
I know.
Like I don't need to own.
But that's
this
the phrase.
for
That's what I
perpetuity,
fear.
but
If
I just want to see it.
Yeah, but if I see it in person and I'm like fucking sold out, I'm like, fuck, I should have bought it. It's beautiful.
Oh, come on, Dom.
yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta admire stuff in the brief
Maybe
time that you have with it.
Maybe
You
I'll
don't go.
just,
You don't go to art galleries, but like that fucking Mona Lisa's not for sale. Son of a bitch.
Well,
true though.
I'm sure some people would love to buy that Mona Lisa. So
What Brian said almost sounded like a metaphor for something else. Also, enjoy something for the time that you have with it. I think I'm going to leave us with that tonight.
Thanks, Mom.
Like Brian's birthday.
Thanks, Mom.
What was her name?
All right. Well, cool discussion, guys. I mean, I'm sure we'll continue unbroadcasted. Maybe we'll throw out a hangout link. You know, in the last few minutes that we got, if people want a hangout link, let us know in the chat. If you guys want it, I'll throw it out in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group. We can hang out and chat it up for a little bit. Let's go around the yard, get some where you at, and we'll call it a night up until next week. So, Dom, I'll start with you, buddy.
Thank you, and good night, guys, and happy birthday, Dave. And see you guys. You can find me on the Facebook groups at Dom Negrasso here to Tuesday nights, and hopefully at a convention in the fall, and practicing social distancing and buying some toys and enjoying a beer with Brian at the bar if it's open.
Yep. That's what I'm looking forward to the most, honestly. You know, like fuck the conventions and everything else, but I can't wait till we get to really like hang out, you know. For real, you know what I'm saying?
For real.
Not just like this. So
Physically,
yes.
not
Yes.
virtually.
JD, let them know.
You can find me at Pigment Surgery on Instagram and Xbox Live. Shelf Gravy on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. Every Tuesday night here with these wonderful gentlemen.
Thank you, kind sir.
Tomorrow night, all new Figure Banging. And then I guess the Shelf Gravy on the odd Wednesdays is going to be
It's a
For
thing.
real.
It's
It's
a
really?
thing.
real thing.
I remember, was it last week, 2 weeks ago, when you were like, nah, I don't know if I'm going to do something tomorrow. And then I was like, okay, I'll throw out a hangout link because I think I want to bullshit. And then when I saw the promo for Shelf Gravy tonight, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those things like everybody's just like, dude, do it. Do it.
They want it.
Why not? Why wouldn't you do it?
They want
So-
it, man.
And I'll be sitting and playing with a new toy. Wait, this is so awesome. Like that's
That's at the back of his jacket.
yeah, that's the
That's cool shit.
cartoon of
Yeah.
this is the
Love the
1,000
figure.
Toys Duke.
Oh, that's
Nice.
Yeah, sorry.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Got a new toy today. Thank you, Chandra. And happy birthday, Dave.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Brink.
Yeah. You can find me here with you guys on Tuesdays, ETR Monday. Let's see. At Brinkalizer on Instagram. And yeah, like JD said, we'll be here tomorrow.
For the
And,
super secret, who knows
super
what it
secret.
will be?
We
Figure.
have no idea.
It's the
I
weather constructor. Oh,
I I guess fortunately, I don't think he's gonna have a air delivery, an airplane come in, so you don't have to deal with a bunch of hatred.
background noise.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah. I'm rambling. Move on.
All right. The birthday boy.
Yo. Well, first, thank you everybody for the birthday wishes, and
Yeah.
Appreciate you all.
What's the move?
I had a good time tonight. Thank you. You can find me here on Tuesdays, Energon Addict on Instagram, and David Cologne in the Facebook groups.
Sweet. And G Money wasn't with us tonight, but you can find him, Gary Allen, in the Facebook groups. I think his Instagram is G Money 2020 or something like that. I don't know. Look him up. You'll find him.
Did you guys get
Still
a
trying to
note?
find that dry air chicken. He's trying to find that chicken.
Machine.
No, I did not get a note.
As for myself,
that makes me worry.
Me
Where
too.
is he?
yeah, no.
He might, he might got arrested when he was coming out of his gym,
Oh,
Said
did
he,
you forget to wipe down the machine?
he was humping.
Would you say, JD?
He was humping the bench press, the bench.
Hey,
He was
it's been a while.
There's
Yeah.
that.
He was making.
They call him doing a selfie in the freaking mirror in the gym. That's none of that anymore.
Rubbing his muddy junk all over everything.
Gym selfies are so 2019.
That's it. All right, guys. As for myself, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Harrican BX, Verbally Challenged on all audio platforms here every single Tuesday night with these fine gentlemen. And again, happy birthday, Dave. Love you, Pop, and I'm glad you had a great one this year, man.
You look good for 30, Dave. I tell you, man.
Pretty soon, one more year, and he'll be in our club. I joined this year. Next year is his turn. Don't forget to check out other friends of the show, the Nerds Have Spoken podcast on Thursdays with that crew. Pretty awesome. Check out the Total Package podcast with some of the ladies of the realm, some of our better halves doing their thing there also on Thursday nights. Figure Banging tomorrow, like these guys said, about 9:30 p.m. Eastern on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel, this very channel, if you're watching. And MPSB Theater this Friday around 9-ish with Nick Brammer and the rest of the crew. Check those guys out. Don't forget to check out the rest of the shows on the Cool Table. You can find the Cool Table page on Facebook along with links to all the podcasts within that network. Shout out to the chat squad. Everybody was awesome tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us. And is there anything else? Crashbox Customs. Check them out on social media for all your Mezco diorama needs. Hit up realmofcollectors.com. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. There's a merchandise link if you want to get yourselves a Realm t-shirt or anything like that. You could check that out. And keep a lookout in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group. We just brought something back today. Hugely successful. Shout out to Jason for winning that particular thing. And thank you to everybody that participated. We really, really appreciate that. All right. So with that,
some thirsty people out there, I tell you, filled up fast.
I like it, man. I like it. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And the piece is really nice too. I can't wait. He won himself this. I can't wait to check.
I even tried to
check it out, man.
Yeah, I saw your name in there.
Yeah. I go like, oh man.
Already spending that mom and pop's birthday gift.
So can't wait to check that out. And as always, guys, with everything that's going on, just make sure you stay safe out there. And that'll do it for us tonight. So take care, stay safe, and peace out. All right, we'll see you next week. Toodles. Damn, I feel like I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Say it with me now.
Realm